What's up, tubers, growers, and cannabis smokers? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a light to go over, and it's from Grandmaster LEDs. Before we get started with that, I would like to go ahead and give some shout outs to the sponsors. First, if you're looking for any genetics or clones, you can head on over to mg1brands.com. and we have some sales and specials going on over there. If you're looking for any used lights on my website right now, mg1ledlights.com, I got a few of my old lights still on there for sale, you guys. I've marked them all down. Those prices all include shipping as well. Nutrients that we use here on the channel is Front Row AG. We now have a 20% off discount code for you guys. If you guys want to go ahead and try out some of those nutrients, you can use MedGrower1 at checkout at frontrowag.com. And of course, if you're looking for any pressing supplies, you can go to rosinevolution.com and use MedGrower1 there as well. And if you're also looking for some other genetics, maybe I'm out on my website, you can head on over to empirebreedingco.com and find some genetics over there as well. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and start talking about this light. This light is from GrandMasterleds.com. This is the Tarantula Vulcan. Yes, this looks like the Scorpion Diablo a lot, but there is a lot of differences in this light. Once you get it open and start checking it out, we're going to go ahead and go over the light in its entirety. I'm going to point out a lot of the build quality things about this light that I like compared to the Scorpion Diablo. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we go ahead and get started and I start talking about like some of the connections that I like compared to its predecessor or its competition, the Scorpion Diablo, we're going to start going through all of that stuff. But real quick, let's go ahead and talk about what this light was made for. It's designed for the commercial production, vertical racks, low ceilings, or even grow tents. This will cover a 5x5 grow area for you guys. All right, this is also pushing 720 watts. All right, it's the highest efficiency 2-channel full spectrum in the world. It is IP66 rated. It has a kick-ass dimming knob, and we're going to go over that as well. Let's see what else we can say here. Yes, these are Samsung and Osram boards on this LED light. The LED configuration is 3000K plus 5000K, and the 660 and the 730. That's the far red, you guys. This thing has the far red feature on it to help you wake up your plants and help put them to sleep. that is a feature I am going to use for sure, 100%. Absolutely. At 240 volts, you can expect this thing to pull 6.2 amps and 740 watts. If you're going to run it at 240 volts, you're looking at around 3.2 amps. So you're pretty much cutting it in half. All right. I guess some people might run it at 277 volts. Then you're pulling 2.8 amps. That's when it, you're really starting to get it down to the efficiency there, 240 and 277 volts. Of course, it has the dimming knob, and it has the RJ ports on them. We're going to go over that too. And like I said, it's IP66 rated. Comes with a 5-year warranty, you guys. A 5-year warranty. Let's see what else we can say. Bum, bum, bum. All right. One other thing I want to point out. This is the exact same size as the Scorpion Diablo. Okay? So at first you might think it looks bigger, but really it's not. It's literally, I measured it out when I still had Scorpion Diablos here. I wish I still had one when I made this video, but they sold so fast I didn't have time to do this. So yeah, same exact dimensions as the Scorpion Diablo. Alright, let's take a look at these. What else was I gonna say these have? Oh, the main driver is it in Ventronics. It's the EMU 6806 model, 00S model actually. And what's this one? This is a Meanwell driver. The second one here is the Meanwell driver. Very impressive light, you guys. All right, let's come on down here and take a look at it from this way. As you can see, you got the two drivers. Do believe this is the driver that controls the far reds. This is the main driver that controls the whites. Let's come on over here and take a look. Here's our controller. You guys, I absolutely hated the dimmer switches that HLG used on all of their lights. They are cheap ass garbage, and I got nothing else to say other than that. They are definitely cheap ass garbage. They're the box style with just the knob on it. There's way better options out there. Even Chilled has better dimmer switches. This is like the Cadillac of dimmer switches. Clicks when it turns on for the whites. You guys can see that it says the whites right there. Alright, so this bank is for the whites. Yes, some red lights do come on when you turn it on. Alright, obviously I don't have it, on yet. We will. And obviously you can hook your controller up through there. I'm going to have mine all hooked up. There's going to be an app and everything, you guys, coming out for all these lights. Over here is the far red lights. Alright, you can see that it says far red. Same thing. I like dimmer switches like this, it gives you the percentage, it's nice and smooth, you can feel that there's no play in there, it's not cheap, it's total quality. You can see that the connections right here are for the dimmer, and they go right into this driver and to that driver. Alright, let's go ahead and get this thing cranked up, alright, and we're going to start firing it up. We're going to take a look at the watts and the amp draw. All this testing is at 120 volt. I got to switch back over to 240 because I'm going to run these at 240 to get the most efficiency that I can out of them. It's super easy to flip them over to 240, flip your breakers and your outlets over 240. It's not really that hard. Actually, I probably will make a little video on it to kind of help people out. So let me get this all set up and cranked up. Alright, I got my helper here, and he's going to turn it on and start cranking it up. So go ahead and fire it up there, Wayne. Just turn it on for the first little percentage there. Alright, and that's without the reds, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so we got no reds on. This is just the white. white button. Alright, let's go ahead and...
Red's in there, but it ain't got the red switch.
Alright, yeah, there are some reds, aren't there?
Yeah.
Alright.
So, come on.
Let's go to watts. Alright, so far, low like that. We're at 89 watts. Wayne's going to start cranking it up. Go ahead.
Okay, here we are at 50.
50%.
Yep.
Alright, go ahead and keep going.
Here's 95%.
Oh, that's volts. Sorry, guys. Oh, that's watts. Alright. That's 95%.
Yeah,
so we're at
go to
675 watts. Now you're at 100.
Yep.
Alright, that's just the white, okay?
With a few reds.
Well, that's the white knob.
Yeah.
Has a few reds mixed in the spectrum, yes. And that's at watts, 675. It's pulling 5.86 amps. Go ahead, Wayne, and crank on that far red now. So you can see the amps are rolling up.
Okay. It's all the way up at 100 on the red.
Alright, so that's 6.46 amps we're pulling. Now, like I said, this testing is at 120 volts. Alright, let's see what the watts are saying. Right there's your watts. 740 watts, you guys. 740 watts total on the 120 and 6.44 amps that it's pulling. Alright, Wayne can't look at it, but hold on, leave it like that. We'll go ahead and take a look at it. That's full blast right now. You guys can see it's definitely going to cover a 5x5 area, no problemo. Alright, go ahead and turn off the whites, Wayne, and leave the red on. Alright, I don't know if you guys can see it. No, leave it on. There you go. You still see that the reds are on. Alright, now this is your far red feature, to where the whites go out in the last 15 minutes, the reds stay on, and then they go out.
Okay.
Morning time, the reds come on 15 minutes ahead to start waking your plants up, and then the whites come on. So that is pretty dang cool.
I like that.
Yes, there's a lot of LEDs out there that do have that. HLG does not have that on any fixture that I know of. So Grandmaster level is coming out the gate with it, because
And they're sealed, I see, too.
yeah, we talked about that earlier, that they're all in that gel.
Yeah.
They're all in the gel.
I can't see no good.
There's no paper
Yeah.
on this board whatsoever. Alright, so we got out the old Apergy meter. Wayne has got it right in the center. Now, we got the light 24 inches above. They recommend 12 inches above the canopy in the manual. Okay, it's a rarity to see me run 12 inches above the canopy unless it's a straight bar light technology LED. This is not that. So keep that in mind, you guys. It does say 12. If you put it at 12 and it starts to bleach things out, you know, just move from there. So in the center where Wayne has got it right now, and of course Margro, he's gonna come out and do his own test. He'd do it official, not like what we're doing here. We're doing with what we got. So we got right where Wayne's at, it's like 890 par right there in the center at 24 inches above. So why don't you go ahead and just start hitting the corners, Wayne. Alright, that corner 5, it's kind of all over the place. Is that because the light's moving? There you go. 626, 23. Alright, it's in that area. Go over there. 581. Yep, just hit the corners. 620. That's because we're not totally over the... It'd be more like over here. Yeah, because we're off a little bit. Yeah, so 545. Alright, at all the corners. Way out there? Yeah, we didn't tighten that. Let me turn this back on.
wire's too heavy.
Yeah, lots of people zip tie it. So, all right, now we'll go ahead and we'll lower it down to the 12-inch mark and see what it says. All right, so here we go. We are at 12 inches. This is the recommended height in the manual, 12 inches above the canopy. All right, Wayne's gonna go ahead and center up.
Yeah.
1,224. That's a pretty big climb. Go ahead and start hitting the corners, bud.
Out them lights, boy.
Pumping out those photons. Go ahead. It's moving or something. We'll call it 1120. Go ahead to the next corner. I don't know why there would be a big difference, but that says 872. It's just us. We don't have a perfect 5x5 spot because that's what this light is rated for. Go ahead and let's go ahead and try here.
I'm gonna go out on the corners. I gotta go out here.
Yeah, see that's back to 1,078. So probably over here.
I was still under.
Right.
I couldn't get far enough out away from it. You know what I'm saying?
So again,
800.
800. So if we had a perfect 5x5.
Yeah. Just keep.
So there you guys have it. This is a super powerful light. I call it the Scorpion Diablo Killer. You can call it whatever you want. But straight up, you guys, when the official testing comes out, I guarantee you it'll be the strongest light in the world. So there you go. So keep in mind, you guys, if you're thinking about this light, it is a heavier light. It is made with thicker quality parts. So there's going to be some weight to it, especially with this bar here, thicker plates. Like I said earlier, this is definitely one of my most favorite features about that. Now that Wayne's here, we always fought with the holes in the board trying to hook them up. So, yep. So, and with the other lights that GML sent, they have awesome spots too as well to hook up. So,
Paying attention to that.
all right, with that being said, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Thanks for joining us on this test of the Tarantula Vulcan from Grandmaster LEDs. Remember, if you're looking for one and you want to purchase a light, you can use discount code MEDGROWER1. Peace. Happy light hunting.